Dear friends, I thought this is appropriate to begin the first video on Carmel Radiance on Prophet Elijah. He is considered to be the inspirer of Carmelite spirituality. Now, when we refer to chapter 18 and 19 of First Kings, we will find the major activities of Prophet Elijah uh, unfolding there. First Kings chapter 18 and chapter 19. Now we find Prophet Elijah suddenly uh, appearing in the scriptures. He does not have a background. We do not know from where he comes. He just appears and then he begins his powerful ministry of prophesying. And we find him so powerful that he is able to confront the king, King Ahab. Now, when we read chapter 18 of First Kings, we learn that there was a terrible plague, famine. There was no water in that land. And when Prophet Elijah wanted to speak to King Ahab, King Ahab asks him, "Are you a troublemaker? Are you the one who has brought this famine upon the people of Israel?" And then Prophet Elijah answers, "I'm not the person. It is you who have brought this terrible disaster on the people of Israel, because here it is because of your worship of Baal, the foreign idols, and that is why you have left the real worship of God of Israel." And then Prophet Elijah immediately challenges King Ahab. Now you see, bring your prophets, prophets of Baal, and I come with the people, those who believe in the real God, and we shall have a challenge on Mount Carmel. And it is on Mount Carmel this terrible sacrifice takes place. First he asks the prophets of Baal. We know the story, we don't need to repeat it, but it is so dramatic there on this mountain. Such a lot of drama is going on. The prophets of Baal praying to their God morning till noon and even till afternoon. And the sacrifice is prepared on the altar. The bull is cut into pieces and they injure themselves. And Prophet Elijah mocking them, "Where is your God? Where is your God? He must have gone on a trip or he's sleeping or whatever." And then finally, Prophet Elijah calls all the people of Israel together, and all the people were sent by King Ahab, and he asks them to come closer, and he prepares the altar with the 12 stones representing the 12 tribes of Israel, and there he places the bull, and then he asks his disciples, followers, to pour water until it is completely drenched and running down. And then he prays to the living God, and there comes a fire from heaven and consuming the entire sacrifice, the altar, the stones, everything was fully consumed. And then the people loudly confess that the God of Israel is the true God. And from this moment onwards, there is something exciting happening. 450 prophets of Baal were killed that day. And we Carmelites perhaps take pride in this episode. We should not be. Because God of Israel is not a God who wants to kill anyone, who wants to eliminate anyone. God of Israel is the one who promotes life. So, did he actually want the death of all these prophets? Absolutely not. God did not want the death of all these prophets. Rather, God would have liked that they change their mind and worship the real God. But what happens? Elijah was an excited prophet. At that moment, with the help of Israelites, he kills all the 450 prophets. We Carmelites should not take pride in the death of all those prophets of Baal. Rather, we should have a kind of attitude towards them that if they had repented, or perhaps if they had changed their heart, that would have been a better ending. Anyway, now what happens? Now here, Queen Jezebel, who was promoting this worship of Baal, wants to take revenge on Elijah, sends her soldiers, and Elijah runs. And a day's journey, he is tired, devastated, perhaps even discouraged, and in pain. And he is lying down under a broom tree and asking God to take away his life. So that is a very sad thing. Why did it happen? Have we ever asked a question about it? Why Elijah felt so bad? I am pretty sure it is mainly because that he did something wrong, or he took pride in the death of all the prophets of Baal. God did not want it. We have a God who is loving, compassionate, understanding, a God who wants that we change our hearts and minds. He does not like the death of the wicked or the sinner. He wants that the sinner change his or her heart and come back to him. And it's a very clear thing that Elijah felt this kind of pain and a kind of discouragement, mainly because there was nothing there. There was nothing there in the episode of the killing of the prophets. And from there, energized with the food of heaven, prophet makes his journey to Mount Horeb, and there he encounters the living God. How did he encounter the living God? This is a very powerful episode in chapter 19 of First Kings. There was the strong wind splitting the stone. There was a fire. There was earthquake. God wasn't there. Where was God? In that sound of silence. Now you see, when he heard that sound of silence, Elijah wrapped his face with his mantle. He knew that he's going to have an encounter with God. According to Moses, no man can see God and live. Very clear. He understood that he is going to die if he is going to see God, and therefore he wrapped his face with the mantle. Dear friends, in this short video, what I want to conclude is that Carmelites are invited to silence, to discover God in the depth of our heart. Silence, where there is silence, there is God, the presence of God. And that is why Elijah was able to find that real presence of God, not in the splitting of stones with that violent wind, not in the fire, not in the earthquake, but in that silent voice or the noise or the sound of silence. These words, we are not able to grasp them properly. Sound of silence, how silence can produce sound, right? It is contradictory, but then we find God in such situations. So we need to really learn to go deeper into ourselves, not in the spectacular things that happen around the world, not in our spectacular works, not in the noise, the buzz of the world, rather in the depth of our heart. And this can be done in our daily lives. What some of the spiritual writers call it finding God in the cave of the heart within us, and doing our ordinary things in an extraordinary way. According to St. John of the Cross, When we offer our daily tasks, daily works every day to the Lord who is walking with us silently, then everything turns into something very vibrant. It is not that we have to do extraordinary things, but we need to do ordinary things in an extraordinary way to find God and experience Him in our hearts. I think that will help us through the example of Prophet Elijah to learn more about sinking deep into ourselves, not finding, not trying to find in the spectacular things of this world, rather finding God in the ordinary things and mainly in the stillness of our life. And that is, I call, prayer experience. If we can do that, certainly we will be able to go deeper into ourselves and go deeper into that experience of God and share this experience with our brothers and sisters. Thank you, and God bless you.